What up, you crack whores? Welcome back to another video, Ragdoll2277. And today, we are going to talk about a subject I have once mentioned, my gayness. Okay, that sounds like a disease. Let me take that back. My gay experiences. Basically, I want to talk about this due to, one, the last video is popular and I'm fishing for views. Two, I like to spread my knowledge. I think myself somebody who's lived for a little bit, so the more I could spread on to those who do not know, the better. Plus, story time has been a little lackluster, so I was like, you know what? Let me spread it. And the last time I tried to record this video, I actually flashed everybody, so I had to restart it. Anyway, this is how it was. This is my experience on when I came out and my school experience. I've talked about my coming out story before. I want to mention the school side because if you come out and you're young, the school, that's the main thing that weighs on your head. You're like, how's everybody going to react? Are people still going to like me? This, that, and the other. Me, I didn't really care. I'm somebody who has really good friends and, a very solid mindset. So, when I was coming out to my school, it wasn't that stressful, but I did. And it kind of worked in effect. Like, step one, basically when I first came out, there's that awkward moment. It's literally like a day where everybody doesn't want to talk to you or anything. Not like because out of shock, just more like out of change, differences. You know what I mean? Like when everybody throws stuff at you like, ugh, God. You're like, oh my gosh. It's like that because they know you as one thing for so long and then all of a sudden you're like, bam, right in the face, dick slapped. You already know your boy gay. So they're like, oh. Right after that, instantly, your school, especially if you're like me, because I think that the 2-3 years before we had, in total, the last 15 years, we've had like 3 gay guys at our school total. So everybody was so curious the second they found out that literally questions bombarded me. And like, these aren't normal questions like, oh, you came out, so how do you feel? Or like that. No, these questions were fucking bizarre, dude. Like, literally, they threw every awkward question you could at me. And here's the thing. I'm a different kind of person. I don't get awkward. I have a stable type of mindset. I like to think myself as one who's not easily offended. And, I know everybody in my village because we're a very compacted space. So in my school, basically, when everybody found out, the questions bombarded me. And they were so awkward to answer. But with me, they're not very awkward. So there were like typical questions. Then there was the hardcore questions that I just don't want to get into. Second, people start treating you very different in some cases. Like, they're not going to drastically change the way they think of you or, oh, this is unholy. Counting on what school you're in. Like, the school I'm in is very small. Plus, everybody's very accepting in this day and age. So I was like, hey, you know what? Why not? And everybody's like, yeah, we're fine with this. But people start throwing certain things at you. What I mean by this is, like, basically, when I came out, if something, like, sexually happens on screen, they're like, oh, Tyler would like that. Oh, Ragdoll, like, I'm just, they'll be like, oh, he likes that, he likes that because he's gay. And you're like, because people, I'm not sure if this is because people are making the jokes or they're ignorant to the thing, but basically, anything sexual that has to do with penis, apparently I like it. Basically, they'll throw that at you a few times, but most part, my school, surprisingly, was very accepting. Some people make jokes then and there. They'll be like, oh, you're gay, huh? Just stuff like that. But basically, I'm lucky to have the school that I did because everybody was fine with it. And I think the more years I go through this, the little more gayer I become, not gonna lie. Due to the amount of acceptance. I look at this. I have pink and purple hair, people. I'm wearing a shirt that says real men wear pink. I'm getting a little more, in tone. I'm not going to really flex because, your boy's still fat. But basically, I'm getting there. And the best part about this is once you open yourself up to your school, there's always this weight. Okay? If you're ever in the closet or anything like this, you will probably know this. There's always this weight just weighing you down. Especially in my case because I was always growing up around people who are like, oh, gay's bad, gay's bad, gay's bad. Not saying that my family was like that, it's just people in general because, it didn't really get super accepted till recently. So this is just this weight that was carried around on my back the entire freaking time. This destroyed my mindset. It kept me in a blank space. The second I came out, weight lifted. Even though you start getting a little worried about what people think about you and all that, basically the weight is still lifted. You feel so much more better, and it helps you unlock who you really are. It gives you the extra push to dive deeper, and you really think about what you want to be and who you are and how it's perfectly fine. And it's great. I mean, I've evolved as a person because of it. I mean, I realize how close I am with my class and my school because of it. I think I've changed lives because of it. Not like drastically or anything, but like a few years ago, people that were saying like gay's bad and making all the like offensive jokes and stuff, they're full on fine with it now, and they understand it to a point where they get offended when people make jokes like that. And I think that's a step in the right direction. So if you're ever in a closet and you're wondering how it will ever go if you come out, especially in like school zones and like areas like that, just watch this, because I know not all experiences are the same, nor will they stay or be the same. But like, at least this could give you a little bit of an insight of what you're going to go into, because a positive, like a guarantee I can give you, people are going to be a little curious and questions are going to be asked, because that's just a certainty with things like this. It's definitely a certainty with things like this, because people don't understand it. I mean, especially around Illinois or places like that, Colorado, I'd say Ohio, is where gay rates are very low compared to like far west or far east. The coasts are really where you find them, but like central Illinois, with the amount of division here, you don't really find them that much. So if you ever want to come out, watch this. Maybe this will ease you. Maybe it won't. I don't know. For now, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.